YouTube! I've been looking forward to this one. This is an MXR bass distortion from my pal Ian again, who described it as it's like a rat pedal for bass. It's like, oh, I like rat pedals. So today I'm using the pink Jim Deacon Sparkle Finish P-Bass because I totally rate it. I do have much more expensive basses, but if you see one of these, they really are. I need to do a little bit more investigating. I will be going further, but the ones that have got this type of script logo on them, actually it looks a wee bit like Jimi Hendrix's signature, doesn't it? I've got a strap on one of my guitars that's kind of got Jimi Hendrix's signature on it. Not real, just printed on. It's kind of not that far off that. Yeah, so playing through the Marshall MB150. Anyhow, so actually the support band, Thunder Roads, were actually really good. So, not being offensive, but total typical Glasgow pub band. The bass player in that sounded really good, and he was just using a Squire, which is the same. It's very similar to this, and it was totally giggable. I wouldn't have any issues gigging this. I think the rest of the band might Black Sabbath on a pink bass, maybe. I don't know, saying that the guy who had it before me was said he used it in a death metal band for a couple of gigs until he snapped a string and then hadn't played it in 10 years. So I can also see the fun in that. And I might just cut the volume of the mic down just a touch, just redlining a bit. So, MXR bass distortion, dry, wet. Oh, normally you get dry and wet on a dial. That's probably a really good thing. So if you put the dry up and the wet down at nothing, it will not do anything, then you can slowly bring in. That sounds quite good. It's also got, you push this button in for Led Zeppelin and you pull it out for Silmarillion perhaps. It'll be LED or silicon, I would think. Tone and distortion. So as usual with these things, I've not even turned it on yet, so I'm assuming I'm just going to turn it on and see what it sounds like. Again, with a super bright LED that you can't actually see anything, so again I'm going to stick, oh maybe that's a better knob to put on it. If I just stick something on top of it so you can't see it, now you don't know if it's on or not. I thought I'd used that last time, was this Les Paul knob. There, you can see it's on. That's just there to stop that thing shining into the camera. So the way it's set, we're on silicon. Nope, we're on silicon mode. Love it already. And already it's showing its bass distortion more than what the Rat does. If you just use a standard guitar pedal, you lose all the low end. This is not losing any of the low end. It's still... So if I turn the wet all the way down, it's doing nothing. This is a great system. I prefer this to the wet and dry mix knob. This has got your set your sound, your bass sound, so it's lovely and full, and then you just bring in the fuzz. Full tone. already just considering this might be... I'm going to build a better board for Black Sabbath rather than using the wee Korg thing. I'll make myself a board with a proper wah-wah on it. Something very like this and a tuner pedal rather than having too much. I made an arse of the gig on Saturday night when I switched over onto my second bass, because I used two once and drop in different tuning, C sharp, and I'd accidentally stomped on one of the pedals, so the wah-wah pedal was on full thing, and it sounded horrendous just having like a fully cocked wah. And I was adamant at the time, guys, have you got a wah-wah pedal on? No. And then after I'd gone out and had a fag, and after the other band had sound checked, I was looked at it, was like, it was on wah-wah mode, so everyone was all right, but that was almost a disaster. But I mean, it's one of those ones that basically it's not sounded bad at all with anything, without fiddling with it at all. Well, let's see what the LED one does. I'd say it was louder. That'd be diode clipping rather than silicon clipping. Silicon would be my preferred for the two of these. We're going to try turning the distortion up full. As you do, put the tone down a bit, see what we get. For the 12 o'clock on every dial, one of my favourite tests. But I really love this ability to turn down that drive, so you can just have fully unaffected signal. I much prefer the silicon one. I'm just not going to use the LED. Silicon is much more my thing. Actually, I'll show you what it sounds like when you just use a normal rat pedal. Oh, actually it sounds pretty good without. I'm not really feeling losing. do that one. Enough, I could just keep playing this all night. So, love the pedal. Again, light's a bit bright. It's like a supernova, but I mean, wee bit insulating tape over that. Sorted. I suppose you shouldn't really be looking over your pedals all the time anyway. I am going to find it a bit difficult to part with this bass. Its punch is way above how much it should. I think, again, one of the things with basically only guitars that really, I'm not going to say suffer from this. P basses and Telecasters, for some reason, maybe because they were the first ever electric guitar, sort of, and the first ever electric bass, they designed them really easy to make, so P basses just tend to be really good. Any P bass, and the same with Telecasters, seem to have that as well. Not the same as any other guitar or any other bass, but for some reason it's just stripped down to the basics, and as long as it's good quality, and these are good quality, I'm really enjoying playing this. And to be honest, the fact that it's pink, I'm going to have to sell it because I've got no excuse for keeping it. I don't need any more P basses. I've got Japanese ones, and I've got I've got 2 Schecter P basses, so I don't need any. I don't need any basses apart from the 2 Schecter ones, of which you probably may have never even seen because I've got so flipping many of them. But no, I'm really liking this. I'm going to have a wee look and see how much these are. I wonder if there's a. I'm a cheap bastard. So see if there's like an older version of this that doesn't have the LED clipping mode that's a tenner cheaper. I would buy that because I suppose it's having it there, you don't need to turn it on, but I like the idea of not having anything on it I don't need, and I wouldn't need that. The LED clipping wasn't my thing, but the silicon or the Silmarillion or the Silurian, whatever Sil stands for, definitely fun. I don't know, would I say it was like a rat pedal? Sort of. A rat's a funny one. It's got that sort of... A rat's not a distortion and it's not a fuzz. It's somewhere between the two. That's kind of... In that sense, it sort of is. Doesn't really sound like when you play a bass through the rat, though. As I said, whenever you tend to use like a fuzz pedal or anything with the bass, you lose all the low end. And I was thinking what I really would like to do is when I've done the 2 amp thing. So I've got the clean bass coming through that amp and then have a wee guitar amp or something with a splitter, so the bass can be still fully there, all running, and then you've got a bit of fizz on top coming out another speaker. That's what this does. That's why it's got the dry and the wet thing, which is a great thing. I wonder if there's any way of fitting that to circuit wise. I don't really know how to, but you wouldn't have thought, maybe see if I just got a rat pedals, I wonder if there's some way of making a dry wet mix just by like a balance pot or something. Maybe worth having a look at. I'm not going to modify my Proco one, and actually the wee one, the Mosky Black Rack's one of those wee tiny ones, so there's no room in that for another knob. But I quite like that. I think when I build my ultimate bass pedal board, which will be a little bit, it doesn't need to have an awful lot. Really, I just want a distortion pedal that'll be on permanently, pretty much, and a wah-wah pedal that I can. A wah-wah pedal probably with a true bypass switch, so I can just bypass the thing rather than having to try and do that stupid stompy thing. I've got a crybaby that would do that, and a tuner pedal for my pedal board. Plus, it would look pretty cool. Anyhow, yes, big yes to the MXR bass distortion. I don't think MXR are a super expensive make. I think you can get, if you get old ones, it can be super expensive. But I don't think they're hundreds of pounds. I bet it is. I bet, seems I like it, I bet it's 150 quid. But I mean, I'm pretty sure I had an MXR Zach Wild distortion pedal. I think I sold it for 30 quid. You know, if it's going to be sort of 50 odd quid, I can get a second hand one for. Totally going to buy one. Rock on. Cheers. Oh, battery running out in this. Rock on.